Here we go. Hold on, and there we are.
Just look at the difference in setup right now.
Yeah, I like your background. It's nice.
Ugh.
Nice curtains.
I'll take that. Right, so I've got a bunch of questions, and a lot of them I've just asked around in the Slack and the different places what people want to ask you. So I was going to do a thing on Twitter, bring people in, but everyone else was just like, no, asking my questions. So I've got some questions for you. So the first one,
cool.
this one was a big one. If you had to field a dream team of 5 players from all regions,
All regions.
who would it be? What would the team?
Wow. Okay. Well, I think there's an obvious start in tens. As oh man, but god, that rules out so many people if I don't want to build like a duelist kind of okay. So tens, he'd be playing Jett or maybe Reyna, which kind of rules out CNED, unfortunately.
It does.
Yeah, I want to put Nats in on Sentinel from Gambit. So him on Cypher. Oh man, I'm gonna have to think Sure. Let's put David P on Omen. We've got a controller there. Maybe we go back to NA. Let's see.
You could have just said the entire Sentinels roster if you...
I could have, but I don't think... Okay. No, they do have an incredible team. I will give them that, but I'm not sure I would want a full set... I think there are better players than some of them in Europe. I do think that. Maybe... No, I don't... I wouldn't play double duelist, so it rules out a lot of players that I would actually pick. Like Asuna, he would be another pick for duelist, but
it's hard because all of the players that stand out and the flashy ones are duelist players that just come straight to your head.
Maybe let's put Hiko on Sova.
There you go.
From 100 Thieves, and then one more, and I'd probably want it to be like a Sage player. So let's go with. Oh, this is controversial because he's switched now. Okay, one sec. Let me check, because he did have a really long stint as a Sage and Phoenix player. Let's go with Scream on Sage, and there's my 5.
To be honest, I think that team's winning pretty much everything. To be fair.
Yeah, I think that is a world class team. It's if you could drag them all together, I think that's your
any
managers, classic 11.
Any managers out there that want to field you, then get you in.
yeah, hit me up and I'll be the analyst for the team. That works for me.
How did you get into casting?
It was about a year ago. I think it was, it must have been a little more than a year ago when the beta came out. I was forming, I think me and my friend wanted to form a team. We wanted to actually try playing, and then we realized we were dreadful at the game. So we kind of made a Discord community, and it was actually quite large. And we hosted a tournament, and we decided we wanted to do a stream of it, and it was called the Scuffed Cup because it was dreadful production quality and everything, and I was doing all of the production and all of the casting and all of the observing and everything at the same time. So we did that, and that was my introduction to casting. And then I didn't actually get into it properly until March this year, and it kind of just went very quickly into my first gig was for £10 an hour on just some nothing stream, and then I would do stuff for free as well. And then people started getting with me. There was Saved Casting is the guy I was getting a lot of my gigs from. Daniel Mena, he's a Canadian caster, and he introduced me to a lot of people within the kind of tier 2 scene. We worked with Cloud9 together, we worked with version 1. No, we didn't work with version 1 together. We worked with Team Liquid together on a battle royale game, which was something. I don't know why they brought in us, but it was fun anyway. And yeah, that was like my kind of introduction to the whole scene. And then I reached out to the guys that produce VCT in EU, and they kind of brought me on, and well, now here we are, right?
I was going to say, quite a journey really in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's only been like 4 months. I've made it all the way to, well, arguably like the top. So yeah, it's been quite weird, but it's also very fun, you know.
What advice would you give to someone then if they wanted to get into the casting?
Well, there's like practice makes perfect, right? So just keep doing stuff. Like I made it a thing that I would do at least an event every week. Obviously, sometimes that's not like viable if you're like in uni or whatever or in school, but just keep trying, even if it's for free, even if you have to fill up time. But also don't undervalue yourself when you start getting, you know, a good enough, you have a list of experience and you have a casting reel and whatever. Don't undervalue yourself, don't sell yourself short, because that's how they get you. The esports community is, as much as I hate to admit it, very prone to like exploitation in kind of talent and stuff like that. And that's something you can like read about for days and days if you look at interviews with like Uber or like anybody else. And it's a sad reality of the community. But if you just don't sell yourself short, then you can avoid all the people that are going to be like trying to exploit you. They'll just go, no, we're not paying you that much, and then you can move on. And you know, just you know, have fun with it.
I think that's the most important thing, really. You don't want you don't want someone like me with this voice just droning on a.
Oh, I reckon you'd be great.
Not the speed I talk. The player have ended by the time I get it out.
He's entered on to say, "Oh no."
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. People, you're quite known, aren't you, for speaking quite quickly in your?
Yeah, that's one of my things. A lot of people do kind of say you shouldn't speak very quickly so that people who aren't native speakers can understand. But I think one of the things I've learned from watching a lot of Spanish casting is that you don't need to understand the language or understand what they're saying or understand it because it's so quick to like feel the excitement and feel
the energy,
you know, what's going on. Yeah, exactly. So I don't really take that advice myself. I speak quickly because it adds to the excitement and it's great. And a lot of people say, you know, play-by-play isn't all about being a rap god or whatever, but I think that's part of what I do. And it's kind of the role that I fill within the team for VCT is that very much I'm a conduit of energy. And in that sense, well, I think all casters are kind of a conduit of energy. They should be kind of guiding the audience through their emotions for the game. And that's the kind of thing that I bring to the table, is just pure kind of energy. And I think speaking quickly is part of that.
100%. Like, I always remember back to the clip from the League of Legends days, the double lift batar, like,
Yeah.
I think it's Korean clip, and I watch that all the time, and no idea what they're saying, but the energy of it is just ridiculous, and
yeah,
just makes memorable at times. Right, something interesting questions here, to be honest. Right, which EU team did you feel was most unlucky to miss out on Berlin?
TENSTAR. No, honestly. Because, right, okay, so week one you had 4 people going through. TENSTAR obviously didn't really make it that far in that one. I think you guys come up against a pretty difficult team in qualifiers in that. But then, well, I mean, week 2 was only 2 people getting through, and well, TENSTAR was 1 game away from getting through on that one, and it was because there was so many great teams that got pushed away from week 1. Fnatic, Team Liquid, 2 of them that really, like, we didn't expect not to make it through week 1, and then because week 2 was so stacked and only 2 people could get through, it was kind of unfortunate that TENSTAR happened to be there in that one. Because I think a lot of people did contact me afterwards, or like, you know, in streams or whatever, going, oh, like, I thought you were an absolute idiot when you picked TENSTAR for your thing. I thought that was like the worst thing. I thought you were making a joke. And then they actually got pretty close, and I was like, yeah, like I'm not just doing it because it's funny. I'm doing it because I actually think they can get through. But yeah, no,
So close.
It was so close. Wasn't it Fnatic that knocked you guys out in the end? Just about. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean, there was just so much talent in that bracket that there was really it was such a difficult fight to get all the way through.
I was the only one that I know. I'm not sure if you know anyone that said that Giants were going to go all the way in my pick'ems.
I think the talent team was very like we all had the idea. I don't think anybody wanted to like actually go out and say that Giants were going to win it. I think everybody picked Fnatic basically. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody wanted to say, but I think a lot of people, especially Ryan, was very an advocate of Giants. Yeah,
they surprised everyone really. They were brilliant.
Yeah, it was insane.
I think that kind of leads into like you supported TENSTAR quite a lot on Twitter and stuff to do with that stuff. What is it about? What is it? Did something catch your eye or something to do with it? Or
it was the TENSTAR vs Heretics game. It was a playstyle that I hadn't like seen so much because I think right now, Valorant's in its infancy and it's not really the teams that win aren't usually based around strategical kind of advantages or anything like that. It's usually just if you win gunfights, you win. And that's just because, we haven't had a lot of time to develop a really deep kind of scene of strategy and counter strategy and everything like that. And it's the reason Sentinels are so far on top is just because they have 5 players that are always going to win Angels and everything like that. And when they drop a map, it's usually because they just get strategically outplayed right now. And I think that's something that I saw in TENSTAR that I don't see incredibly often in teams in Tier 1 is that like just it was pure strategy. It's not like they couldn't win gunfights. It was just this kind of they'd go into rounds where you'd think they're going to get outplayed and they just play it beautifully, turn around and make sure that Heretics had absolutely no chance of winning the round. Like flanks coming through, kicks in icebox, and just you had 5 players still alive and you come up behind all the Heretics players and they had no clue you were there. Somehow it was just this kind of beautiful, like conglomeration of strategy that just it spoke to me in a way. And I mean, partly the support on Twitter was to kind of play a role, kind of the like
the underdog.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of this everybody loves to root for an underdog, so I thought let's go for an underdog pick because everybody was picking Fnatic, and I wanted to actually pick somebody who I thought had a decent chance, but also was kind of an underdog, and I could say that if they didn't get through, I'd be like, oh no, oh well, it was a good pick. And then if they did get through, I'd be like, I am a genius. All of you were wrong. I'm amazing. Look at this. It was that kind of win-win situation anyway. But no, I mean, TENSTAR is just a team that I can kind of attach to because it's a very, very fun team to watch.
A lot of people have said that, to be fair. I think it's got big compliments in as though we're such a new org, really. 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months in. Let me find another one. Aha, this was a big one. Do you see anyone overthrowing Sentinels as the best team just anytime soon?
It's kind of hard to bet against them in Berlin right now. They're just... it's difficult at this point because NA's always been very Sentinels and everybody else, right? And EMEA has always been everyone at the top trying to fight for their spot. And it's very difficult to know whether that is because EMEA is just the same skill level but lower than Sentinels, or just because everybody's so good that they really are trying to get to that top spot. It's possible. I could see Gambit or Ascend, maybe Supermassive Blaze, vying for at least a couple maps against Sentinels, but I think it's unlikely that anybody but Sentinels are going to win Berlin. Don't quote me on that because I really don't know at this point, but it's hard to bet against them. They've got like the first and second best players in each of their roles in NA, so it's a difficult team to bet against.
It's nice to see NA actually having a strong esports team in something. Yeah. So here's one that kept coming up, and I have an opinion on this, but Phantom or Vandal?
Vandal.
Yeah. Okay. You're a man of culture.
Okay. Logically, you should say Phantom, right? Because no tracers, it's great for spraying through smoke, but with smoke meta kind of going out of style a little bit, I think Breeze is the only map where you're really going to play double controller anymore. too much, at least. Well, EU's always been a bit weird with how we play compositions on different maps. But with that kind of phasing out and double duelist is phasing out as well, I don't think that's a massive kind of like something you'd want to focus on anymore. And with less smokes, you're going to have more long-range duels, and with long-range duels, you're going to want Vandal. One-tap headshot at any range is just, I think, something I couldn't live without because I can't spray properly. But I guess it's personal preference, but I think the risk that is associated with hitting somebody for 145 at long range is not something I would go for, personally.
No. I've had this argument with so many people, and I will go to the death for it. So, something here. I saw this. You're gonna cosplay Jett, aren't you?
Okay. If I reach 1,000 followers by my birthday, which is it's now a month and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, a month and a week. So 5 weeks time. If I reach 1,000 followers by then, I will cosplay Jett like properly. Like a lot of people have asked, like, what do you mean by that? Do you mean like just like you're gonna buy a cosplay outfit? I mean, like, I'm gonna get a tailor-made cosplay outfit and like shave my beard off and do makeup and stuff and get a wig. Like I've already drafted my sister in, hopefully, to do makeup for me for it. So like there's a part of me that doesn't want it to happen. Like, God, I saw George Guedes. I honestly don't know how to pronounce his last name. But I saw him doing a thing for 10,000 followers and doing an Omen cosplay. But like, and I was like, that's a great way to gain followers. And you know, obviously I've always been like the lowest followed in VCT because I don't have any experience from other esports, so nobody's come to follow me from that. So it's been like pure growth from Valorant at this point. And so I was like, you know what, that would be a good idea. Let's just make an incentive to gain, you know, 1,000 followers, or well, gain, like, I was on 500 when I said that, or just under 500. So I'll gain that, and then yeah, it won't happen, so don't worry about it. And now I've gained it's been 150 followers in a couple weeks, so it's getting close to the point where I'm worried a little bit.
I was gonna say, did you regret it soon after putting that out there? Because honestly, it's something I want to see. I'm sure a lot of people want to see it, but
I don't think I regret it as much as some people would. I think I'm kind of looking forward to it in some ways. Like, there's like a part of me that's like, I think I'd make a pretty damn good Jett. But yeah, no, it's a lot of commitment. It's probably going to take a lot of money as well to make a proper thing out of it. But oh well.
Is Jett your favourite agent then?
Yeah, I do main Jett. I think I've always kind of been a dual. I was an operator. I've completely, like, my vocabulary has gone all the way to Valorant now. I was an AWP player in CS:GO when I played for a semi-pro team. We didn't really win any prize money, but like it was kind of just a bunch of 16-year-old British kids. And I think I kind of followed over to Valorant, so I play operator Jett now.
It's kind of a weird question, but an interesting one. Which agent would you most want to go for a drink with?
Which agent would I most want to go for a drink with? Brimstone seems like a really nice, like, kind of like fatherly figure kind of thing. Like, you could get along with him really well. Anybody could. Is there anybody like Sky seems kind of cool? I don't know. Omen's a bit too edgy. I wouldn't do that. No. Breach seems unhinged. Yeah, I think Brimstone would be the best, but like you could have a chill night with Brimstone, I feel like, you know?
This is another strange one, but what agent do you feel you could beat in a fist fight?
Oh god. Not many of them, I don't think. Let's see. No, Phoenix comes from London, so there's no chance.
Maybe. I'm struggling.
Killjoy, maybe. I feel like I would hate to, but Killjoy, I feel like, is the only person I could beat in a fist fight.
That can be a headline. That kind of Twiggy would
beats up a fucking No.
Right. So, Oh yeah, I meant to ask this. I always see the instruments in your background. Do you play them all? I'm guessing you do, but
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, right. Hold on. I can. So over here. Oh, actually, let me just so I can see my own camera. There we go. So over here, I have there's a ukulele. There's 2 basses. There's a 4-string bass and a 5-string bass. An acoustic guitar, 2 electric guitars, and then an old guitar that I used to play as a kid. And then over there, there's my piano here, and there's a cello there. And yes, I play all of them. So, not like I'm not like a virtuoso at any of them, but I just kind of like I wanted to go into music before I started casting, so that was kind of the thing that I don't know. I think cello was the last thing I bought, so I'm not very good at that, but it's there. I can play it.
do you make music at all, or is it just a hobby?
I did make music quite a lot. I don't anymore, but like I did soundtracks for videos for like indie video games, and I did like remixes of songs. Like, you know, Zed is quite big in the Valorant community now because obviously he's got his own like skin collection coming out, but also he's immortal and he plays on inverted controls. Yeah, no, I've done a few remixes of his songs. I like entered into a couple remix competitions with his songs. So yeah, no, there's I do make music. I don't really anymore, but
I mean, honestly, anybody who can play an instrument, I'm jealous of. I've got no musical talent at all. I wish.
Everyone's got musical talent. Everyone's got musical talent.
You think so? Oh,
Yeah.
Hit me, do anything, and you'll change your mind. Is there an agent or a certain meta you feel that might come in the coming months or years, or just something you feel that's, you know, just brimming on the surface that might come in as a play style?
KO's really been kind of bubbling up there. I think KO Sky has been kind of an interesting one that I've enjoyed seeing. Like the quad flash comp that I think it was Giants. No, was it Liquid were running against? Can't remember who it was, but it was in week 2 main event for challenges. That was interesting. The Omen, Sky, KO, and what would it be? Breach. That was insane. I really enjoyed that. I like, obviously as a caster I don't actually see the flashes. I just see the little timer at the top. So I'm quite happy with the flash meta, but I feel like the players kind of get annoyed by that one. So I don't think that'll actually come into fruition at any point. But I think KO Sky is kind of something that I've enjoyed seeing in some ways. It's this new kind of take on the initiator role, because we have had double initiator before in Breach Sova in like Korean meta, but yeah, I think I've enjoyed seeing kind of the introduction of KO to games. I'm not sure we're going to see him take the kind of pick rates that we saw with Sova in Masters 2 or anything like that, but he should be an interesting kind of like injection into Berlin's kind of structure.
I think so. I think he's quite an interesting middle ground for different comps and stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody utilize him to his full potential yet.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Right, so final 3 here, and there is an interesting one that somebody wanted to know. If you could have a meal with 3 people throughout history, any 3 people, who would it be?
Oh god. Oh no, it's the tea party question. Yeah. Oh god. Oh, there's so many people. With great power. I was gonna say something like just one of my idols, but that's like wasting somebody. That's incredibly difficult. There's like, is there anybody throughout history that I'm genuinely interested? Oh, me and Leg Day were having people making tier lists of drinks, and we went down a tangent that I said water wasn't S tier, and he said, "How are you not going to put water S tier?" And I said, if I was judging it off the merits of historical relevancy, then yes, it would be S tier, but it's the baseline for how stuff... It doesn't taste of anything. It's not S tier. I don't enjoy drinking it more than like tea or something like that. And I basically made the... I made the comparison that you wouldn't just like bring a Neanderthal to a dinner party just because like if without him you wouldn't be alive. But there we go. You know what? For that, I'll bring the first Homo sapiens to to my dinner party. There you go. There's or to what was that? Have a drink with? That would actually be interesting.
It would.
Drinking with a Neanderthal.
I'd pay to see that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So that's one. I'm really agonizing over this. I should probably just pick somebody.
It's an important question, honestly, you know. It is an important question.
Zed would be one of them because I'm a very big fan of him. Then we've talked about him. I am a very big fan of him, and I would like that. It's wasting one on somebody who's alive, but.
So Zed,
yeah,
so we've got Zed and the first Homo sapien so far.
Yeah, that's a good start. Yeah. I've still got one left. Let's go somewhere in between. Somebody who's not alive anymore, but also would be an interesting pick. And let's not go so personal as Zed. That's so difficult. Is there anybody like really culturally relevant? Maybe oh man. The people that spring to mind is people that like instigated kind of change in the world, right? You know, the kind of Rosa Parks, MLK kind of picks, but man, if you have to pick one, let's go with Martin Luther King because I think that would be interesting. Not to be cliche, but I do think it would be like an interesting kind of like, because it would also be the kind of thing like the world today, right? Kind of thing. So yeah, let's go with Martin Luther King because he is an icon of the current the kind of cultural climate today, isn't it?
Definitely. I think it's going to be quite hard to have a conversation with him with like a Homo sapien, like just smashing up the.
Yeah, that would be interesting. It would be well, at least it would be entertaining, you know, dinner and a show kind of thing. Yeah,
no, definitely. Yeah, you could just use him as the entertainment and then just have a conversation with Zed and Martin Luther King.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where do you see Valorant as an esport in a year? Like, where do you see its progress?
In a year, well, we've done so much in a year already that it's grown so quickly. It's at this kind of level that it's already, you know, overtaking in viewership, CS:GO and stuff like that. That in a year, I see it probably being a lot more kind of like organized and stuff like that. Obviously, we're in a climate right now that it's very difficult to kind of do a lot of stuff, you know. Everything's kind of online and we're not able to get LANs going so easily, and even, you know, the LCQs in America are being a bit kind of touch and go because of the new variant in America and everything like that. But in a year, I think it will probably be like we'll be at a good stage where we can actually grow kind of the whole scene. And hopefully Riot kind of I mean they've always had the finger on the pulse with esports, and they've done a really good job with League over the years. So I'm excited to see how they take Riot, how they take Valorant, and turn it into something, you know, as big as League, hopefully. But it'll take that kind of extra step. With China joining the equation in esports, it should actually bring a lot more, you know, probably a lot more investment into the scene, a lot more kind of fans, like probably double the amount of fans coming into the scene, hopefully. So with China entering the scene, it'll probably also turn it into the 4 regions. We'll have North America, South America, EMEA, and APAC, which will make the kind of formats a lot better because we'll have an easier way to get into 4 groups for a group stage in international competition, which will be nice. And I think it should turn into something cool. I won't speak about franchising because that's a touchy topic for players at the very least. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that kind of thing coming through.
No. Hopefully not for the smaller orgs, because, you know, if it's the same as the LCS, not many orgs can afford, what is it, 20 million for an LCS spot?
Oh god, like I have no clue. The buy-ins are always
ridiculous,
insane.
Yeah. The last question is same kind of thing, but where do you see yourself in a year?
Ooh, in a year? It's a short time frame. for that kind of thing. Let's see. Probably in a very similar place to where I am now. Hopefully, I'm still with the EMEA team. They seem to want to go forward with the kind of talent team we've got, which is it's nice that they're kind of keeping us on board. Hopefully, I mean, obviously, a lot of people, like, I've seen a lot of casters say that you shouldn't kind of set personal goals like go to a masters because it's out of your control and whatever. But you know, it's that kind of thing that it's a quantifiable kind of like keeping track of progress kind of thing, right? So going to an international competition, casting at an international competition would be absolutely amazing. That's obviously what I want to do, and being able to really support myself with just casting alone would be lovely. So hopefully with more European competitions, European tournaments kind of coming through that, well, English-speaking European tournaments, obviously LVP is massive and all of that, but obviously I don't speak Spanish. That's a difficult one to cast for me. So hopefully, yeah, no, the end goal is just to make this sustainable so I can do this for however long until I don't have a voice box left. But yeah, no, like international competition is the big kind of like the big flashy goal that I'd love to go for. I mean, I'd hope to do Champions 2022, but it's a very lofty goal. So we'll say stage 2 Masters next year is where I'm aiming for.
That's doable.
Yeah,
that's a good
goal.
goal.
I think that's doable. Yeah.
Didn't aim too high, but didn't aim low. That's a perfect mid-level.
Yeah.
Okay, that's everything anyway. That's all the questions.
Awesome.
So, yeah, thank you.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Do you want to plug anything quickly at the end?
Well, if you follow me on Twitter, there's a small chance that I'll cosplay as Jett. I've got a Twitch and Instagram as well. Twitch is Twiggy Cast. Instagram is Twiggy Shouts because they wouldn't let me have Twiggy Casts. I don't know why. And then I mean every other social you can probably find by just typing Twiggy Cast. But I haven't got anything going on, so just follow me on Twitter is the best way to keep track of like kind of what I'm doing, what I'm casting, and everything like that.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.